guys, so I'm coming to you with a review on the new NYX Ultimate eyeshadow palettes. There are 4 of them. I have all 4 here to talk about with you. These fairly recent. I want to say they came out this year. It's May now. They came out probably around February, March-ish. They were not at IMATS at the NYX display, but they were fairly new around IMATS, and that was April. So, anyway, this is the NYX Ultimate. What they are, you have 4 different eyeshadow palettes with 16 shades a piece, and they each have their own individual theme, or individual, color scheme. And yeah, so I'm going to tell you my thoughts on them. These retail for $18. So, at first, I was like, that's freaking high for a drugstore palette. But I think some of these are worth it. A couple of these are worth it. I guess depending on what you're looking for in your collection, all of them may be worth it. But yeah, $18. You can get them at Ulta or on the NYX website. I got mine from Ulta, and they actually were in store. You know, a lot of times some things are online, and you don't see them in store. It's a full display of these in store. I was able to get all 4 at the same time. So, there you go. Alright, so like I said, retails for $18, but remember NYX is drugstore, so the buy one, get one half off, your coupons, your points, whatever at Ulta, really, really will save you some money on these. Now, okay, so I'll show you the 4. I'm gonna, sorry, it's my phone. I'll show you the 4, palettes. The first one being, no particular order, this is the Cool Neutrals. This is the Cool Neutrals palette. Alright. Then you have the, I might as well go to the Warm Neutrals. Alright. This is the Warm Neutrals. And then you have the Smoky and Highlight. Alright, Smoky and Highlight palette. And then you're going to go ahead with the Brights palette. This is the Brights palette. Now, I just want to make a note about the Bright palette. All of these are eyeshadow palettes, but the Bright palette includes 3 pressed pigments. If you peel off the back, it'll tell you which 3 are pressed pigments. Number 2, number 3, and number 6. So, 2, 3, and 6 are pressed pigments, okay? Yeah, are pressed pigments. I don't know how that fares for you, but let's get into it. So, first off, these are, I don't particularly care for NYX's single eyeshadows. I don't particularly care for the quality of them. I like the glam shadows that I have, but like just watching them, and I don't know, it just doesn't seem like they're the circle ones. Maybe the older square ones were better, but I don't know, it just doesn't seem like they're the best quality, and I can get better eyeshadows for cheaper. I don't know. But NYX palettes, I tend to not mind. Alright, and that goes with these. I do enjoy these palettes. There's a few things. The first thing being the price. $18, okay. Not that bad, but again, if you feel like drugstore should have drugstore price, $18 is a fair drugstore price. And you're getting 16 shades in here. I was going to compare these to the Morphe 12-pan palettes, but they're going to get their own video. So you have 16 shades in here. I love the color selection within the palettes. Warm neutrals, cool neutrals, a smoky highlight palette, and a brights palette. I feel like if you have no eyeshadows in your collection, that covers all the shades. Warm shades, cool shades, smoky eye shades, and bright shades. Like, that covers all of the colors that all of the themes of eyeshadow that you would need in a collection. So I do enjoy that they have one palette for each color scheme. So a palette for everybody. If you want to fill a collection and you want to get all 4, you are going to definitely get some variety with these palettes. No questions there. I'm going to go ahead. I don't know if I mentioned that I was going to insert swatches. Sorry about that, but I'm going to insert the swatches. If I didn't already, when I edit this, it's going to be a little messy. Okay, so the quality of these shadows, again, I find much better than the singles of NYX that I have. I don't know if it's a different formula. I don't know what it is, but the quality is a lot better. They go on smoothly. They pick up really, really well on my brush. There is a little bit of like dust up, fallout, but not fallout on my face, but dust, because I can be heavy-handed with my application, and I use a lot of big fluffy brushes. So I actually did a tutorial using one of them. This look here, I don't know when it'll be up, before or after this, I don't know, but you'll see as I do that it may be a little bit of dust there, but that's also not, I don't judge a shadow based on the fallout, because it can be my fault, you know. Only but so much. It's still a powder. Okay, I'm going to talk about the brights really quickly. The 3 pressed pigment shades, I don't think they fare any differently than in the eyeshadow shades. So I don't really know. I don't see a difference in quality or difference. But I will say this. This blue one is not labeled as a pigment, and this bad boy stained. Like, it stained my finger when I swatched it in the store. Like, this shadow here is super bright and, I mean, bold and beautiful. It's this blue here. Look at that. No primer. I have not used any of these. I always use them with and then look, wiping it off. You see the stain there? Then it's on my finger. I always use primer with my shadows, and they work really well with the primer, blend really well. I don't know, like, if you put a base, if anything's going to pop. I haven't used like a white base with these. I just use primer. Especially with the color ones, the bright ones, but like I said, they do well without it. So there you go. Also, they blend very well with each other. A lot of shadows, you know, aren't compatible with that. Everyone besides this one, this is the brights. It appears to have a few shades with like a little bit of shimmer sparkle in them, but majority of these are all matte. But the other palettes have a mixed variety of finishes. For an example, let's do this warm neutrals. You have matte, you have satin, you have shimmer. There's not really any glitter bombs in this one, but I think this is a beautiful palette. I think this is a beautiful palette with the whole orange rust 35 sweet peach, all these orangey, burnt, rusty colors that are becoming the theme for actually spring and summer. And I categorize these as fall shades, but you can wear whatever you want. Really, really popular. I think this will be a really popular palette amongst people. If you're going out to get one, I think people will users will gravitate toward this one the most. Okay, gravitate towards this one the most. I'll give you a little bit more live swatches. Even though you saw the picture, I mean, they do really well. They do really well without primer. There was a few in swatching, like throughout the palettes, probably 1 per palette, that was really hard for me to pick up, like kind of but 1 out of 16, we're gonna let it go ahead and go. The shimmer shades that are kind of like metallic-y, for an example, this one here, let me see if you can see, reflect really, really well. I'm wearing one on my brow bone there. They reflect really, really well. Almost metallic-y. Not so, like, almost metallic-y. They reflect and catch so much light, and that is throughout all the palettes. They catch so much light that it's absolutely beautiful. Like I said, that goes throughout all the palettes. Whew, I just feel like I'm talking so fast. So, my final verdict, are they worth it? I would say yes. I would say yes to $18. It is pretty, you know, you think drugstore and you think low prices because you're looking at a Wet n Wild palette for $5, but $18, you get 16 shades. You get really great quality eyeshadows. My favorite palette is actually, what can you guess? Smoky and Highlight Warm Neutrals. It's actually the Cool Neutrals. This palette is so, it's not necessarily unique, but then it is. So these Cool Neutrals, obviously cool tones. And I don't know if this is coming off blue, but this is actually purple. You get that beautiful matte purple as a pop of color to blend all these colors together. But guess what you get in here? This shade here, don't tell me the name of it, but I mean 100% blue brown dupe. 100% blue brown dupe. Maybe not 100% because I really didn't do them side by side. But a great dual chrome blue brown dual chrome shadow. Like, I think that is Oh, whoa, don't break it. I think that is awesome. This is my favorite palette, the cool neutrals. I also love, like I said, the pop of purple and then this beautiful matte brown. Y'all know I love a matte brown. This matte brown here, my hand was wet. Really, really gorgeous. Really gorgeous. This is my favorite one out of the 4. Again, let's say I wasn't collecting or wasn't doing this for the sake of review, which one I would have probably passed on. Honestly, it would probably be the Smoky and Highlight, just for color selection, personal preference. Not necessarily the quality isn't good. It's just I can make a smoky eye out of anything. I have so many smoky shades. That's the one I would pass on. The warm neutrals, definitely, I feel like this would be like the best seller, just with the theme of everything. If you missed out on 35 or the Sweet Peach, if you want some orangey, rustic, whatever shades, and you don't want to spend that much, $18 and less than 20 bucks, you can get this palette. Of course, you can use coupons, buy one, get one half off. I got these when NYX was buy one, get one half off at Ulta. So I actually did get these on a good sale. So you guys should definitely check them out. I do think they're worth it. Again, I have a lot of eyeshadows. I think a lot of these shades may possibly be dupable, but the color combinations is really, really nice. I think this is an awesome bright palette. I think this is an awesome bright palette for those of you looking for bright color. You don't see too many of these with great pigmentation in the drugstore. I know Wet n Wild comes up with like some bright matte ones, but they're usually limited edition. So you don't usually see bright ones like this in the drugstore, and I think that's beautiful for those who love color and don't want to shell out $50 for an electric palette from Urban Decay. And you get 16 shades in here instead of 10. So I really do enjoy that. Bunny, Graveyard Girl, actually used this palette to make her DIY rainbow highlighter, and it was super pigmented. So, yeah. So I think I pretty much covered everything. There's not really any cons. Like I said, some, like maybe 1 in 16 was a little bit hard to pick up on my brush. Or with my finger in a swatch, but I'm used to at least one dud in eyeshadow palettes. I am. A lot of people were comparing these to the Viseart palettes, although the Viseart palettes have 12 in them, and they're like 80 bucks, and everyone loves those. I don't own any, so I can't compare them to that, but you may want to look into that as some comparisons if you were thinking about getting some of those. These palettes apparently have similar themes to those, so check that out. Anything else? If you have any questions, comments, concerns about any of the products mentioned in this video, feel free to leave them down below. I encourage you guys to check them out. Go to Ulta and swatch them, and let me know what you think. Until next time, I love you all. Bye.